And what we have done here is finally put the B-post on and welded it in place. I took careful measurements between the A and the B-post and determined that the original measurements of my car, 30 inches, were pretty accurate. I figured that out by hanging the door, putting a striker into the B-post here, and making sure the door would close. I also hung the fenders front and rear and checked the fit, especially the fit of the rear fender, which goes over this area here on the B-post. Once I was satisfied that I had a good alignment and the door would work, I welded it in place, and then I rechecked everything again. So the welds came out quite well on this flange here. Those were spot welded in, plug welded, and let's see if I can get a little bit better light here on this side. You can see it's nice and smooth. As you can see, what I've done is I've primed it and then I painted it with some Rust-Oleum. Most of this area is going to be covered underneath anyway. I also used seam sealer all along these edges, along the bottom here, and also in here, and over in here at the bottom of the A-post. So on the other side of the B-post, you can see that I think my repair, if you recall, this area here did not reach all the way down to my replacement inner sill, and I built a patch piece that went between the two, and it has been welded in, and it was quite solid without the B-post, but once the B-post got on there, it's very solid. Watch this. It's very solid. I can actually pull on this, and what happens is the car moves, but nothing else moves. The entire car moves. Same thing over on the front section here. This weld doesn't look very pretty, but as you can see, it's very solid. I also did seam sealer here all along the seam. I chose not to grind this down and make it real pretty because it's completely covered. And I've found that as you grind these welds down and you get closer to the sheet metal, you kind of make it a little thin. There's a possibility of finding a void in there and getting it a little weaker. So I decided to leave it that way. And in case there's any small voids that I didn't see, I put seam sealer all along here and all along on the inside as well. So the B-post, the welds on the other side of the B-post. I had a little surprise here. When I first welded in plugs over here, I found that they did not hold very well, so then I went back and I ran a bead along the whole edge of the support piece there. Of course, I also had lots of spots, plugs down in here, and the bottom plates are where they extend over the inner sill are welded in down here. Now the gray area is set and ready to go for welding in the rocker panel, and just like the rest of the sill here, I've done a lot of pre-fitting, and I'll show you that next. I'm about to weld that in place, and I'll show you that next.